Welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss about linked list, and we are going to see what are the different ways by which we can represent a linked list, and we are going to see what are the operations we can do with that, and we are going to see what are the different types of linked list. We have doubly linked list, we have circular linked list, and we have a linked list with header files. And finally, we are going to see what are the applications for this, right? So let us see what is a linked list. Linked list is nothing but it's a collection of nodes. You could see on the diagram where you can see a list with 6 nodes, and every node is divided into 2 parts. One is the information part, and the second one is the address. As you could see on the diagram, you can see there is 2 more variables. We call it as name or start. So start or name is a variable which gets the address of the starting node. So let me repeat. Linked list is no, it's a linear collection of data elements, and this data elements is known as nodes, where every node is divided into 2 parts, and the first part is known as the information part, and the second part is known as the pointer or the link part, or we can call it as the next pointer. At the same time, the starting of every node of another pointer called start, name or first, which gets the address of the starting node, right? So the first part contains the information field, and the second part contains the address. So we call it as the link field or the next point, right? So this is another diagram where we have 6 nodes. So the left part represent, as I told, which is going to be the information part, and the right part contains the address of the next part. You can take any node other than the last node. Every node has got the address of the very next node. If you look at the last node, where you can find there is an into mark, that means the last node does not have any address. So please take care of 2 variables known as start or first or name, which contains the address of the first node. So please take care of this. Next, as I told, the last node does not have any address, so we call it as null list or empty list. So let us see how we can represent this linked list. There are different ways by which we can represent. One is we can take 2 linear arrays. So please recall, as I told you, every node has got 2 parts. One is info, other one is link. So what you do is we are going to take 2 different arrays. Always arrays is going to be a linear array, and the info array we are going to store all the information, and in the link array we are going to store the addresses, which is going to get the pointers, right? At the same time, we are going to take a variable named as start, which is going to take the which is going to give you the address of the starting node, which gives you the location of the beginning of the list. So if you look at the diagram, as I told, we are going to take 2 arrays. One is info, other one is link, but it's not mandatory that all the information are stored in the adjacent memory locations. So as you could see on the screen, we can see 2 arrays. One is info and the second one is link. And look at the start. The start 9 start is having an address which is 9. So you have to search for the address 9. If you look at the address 9, for the address 9, if you look at the info where we stored a character, right? So we have taken it as info of 9 is equal to 9 is n. Next, let us see what is there in the link part for the same address. So what is the address? Address is 9 for given node which is having address 9. We have a link. What is there in the link which is 3? So you have to look for the address 3 now. So info of 3 is going to be 0, or we can take it as O, right? Now you should look at the link part for the same, so which is 6. So if you look at the address 6, where you are going to get a character V. Next you have to look for the link 6, where you can find an address 11, and you should go to the address 11 where you can find a character E. So if you look at these two arrays very carefully, we can see that all the nodes are not stored in adjacent memory locations. It's not mandatory that you have to store every given elements or every nodes in the adjacent memory location, right? So there is another thing. More than one list may be maintained in the same linear array info. If you look at this, if you look at the info, we have stored just 4 characters, and the characters are N, O, V, E. We have just stored 4 characters for my given list. And if you look at info, we have got many more characters other than this. We have stored T, we have stored X, we have stored I. So these characters belongs to some other list. So this is what I told. It's not mandatory that every node in the given list has to be stored in adjacent memory locations. At the same time, let me repeat, it's not mandatory that in a given list, you can store only one list information. So if you look at the info, we have stored the information that belongs to some other list. Same if you look at the link part also has some other address which does not belong to the given list, right? So please keep these 2 points in your mind, which is highlighted in red color. So let us see how we can represent chains in C. Chain in a sense, when I say chain, which means linked list. So there are different mechanisms for defining a structure, defining a node in structure format. And once it is defined using a structure, we have to create a node. First thing is, as usual, you have to create a structure for that. You have to create a node. Once it is done, once it is defined, you have to create a new node. And everyone knows how we can create it. We use different dynamic memory functions like malloc, we have calloc, we have realloc, and we have free. So we can use either malloc or realloc for this. So once it is allocated, once a node is created, so we can remove the node using the free functions. So please remember how we are going to represent. We can represent this using a structure. We are going to define it first. Once it is defined, we have to create a node using malloc. Once it is created, so if you want to delete it, you can delete it using the function called free.